Hey everybody, Batjack JW. Yeah, did you see that video? What is it called? Is it really? I saw some interesting comments already on that. That's really interesting. Look at that. What am I talking about here? It is early morning. Already having some coffee. Just as you can tell, we need to wake up a little bit here. Hopefully, we've got enough lighting here. I tried to light up, being it's early morning, I tried to light up everything as best we could. But did you see the video? Is it really? What is it? Uh, there was one comment that really made me laugh, and you'll see why. But no, just kind of hanging out. Everything has been doing good so far. I don't want to start celebrating yet, but everything's been doing interesting. The job has been going through some orientation and stuff like that. So I as you guys know, I changed the jobs a little bit here, mainly just because just things that were just not up to satisfactory, in a sense. I don't know. I really, I've been trying to work up some details and write some stuff down and do that. I was going to share some stuff, perhaps maybe later in some other videos. But no, it's starting to cool down a little bit here in Arizona, so that's nice. As my favorite month is getting started, October, right? So I did tell you that I was going to have some stuff for you in October. So kicking it off here is October, and I have one right here. Check this out. Okay, so you guys know I'm a big fan of horror movies and all that. Some of you are, some of you aren't. That's okay. I grew up with them. I grew up watching a lot of them and everything. So one of my favorite horror flicks that always stood out with me is the movie Halloween. That's the original one. Came out in 1978, John Carpenter. I remember watching that at a very young age. And I kid you not, I was probably like 8 or 9 when I watched it. Okay. And yeah, I mean, you're probably thinking, what the heck? But no, when I watched it, the one thing I really wanted, when I saw the first one, we rented it from Blockbuster or something like that, and watched it. I wanted to see part 2 immediately. I was like, what the heck? What happens to Michael Myers? He's been shot 6 times, and he fell off of a balcony, and he got up and walked away. And Dr. Loomis is now going to hunt him. I want to find out what happens. So we're into part 2. So that's the kind of stuff I was watching. So here, we'll do it this way. Oh, isn't that freaky? This is a Michael Myers mask I had to have. Look at that thing. Now, this one is a replica of the Part 6 mask. Now, I will say this about the mask. The masks have changed quite a bit. The original mask for 1978, some of you know this and some of you don't. It's cool. It was a William Shatner mask from Star Trek. Can you believe that? They just took the eyes and they opened them up. Might as well, since we have the mask. Now, this is not the replica of that one, but the original one, they cut the eyes out a little bit, and then they did the hair differently. They removed the sideburns, and then they spray painted it white. And it just had this eerie sense that stuck with it, and that was it. I think that's kind of funny if you think about it, all that time that William Shatner was the face of Michael Myers. Of course, it changed after that. It started to dramatically change a little bit. I think Part 4 was, to me, it just had this nice, clean looking mask, like you would have just gone to the store and bought it. Part 5. Now, here we'll talk about some of my favorite looks of the mask. Part 5 is one of my favorites, and Part 6, and that's what this one is. This is the Part 6 mask. Now, to me, Part 6, which I believe is called The Curse of Michael Myers, is like to me, it's like the scariest one. I don't know why. I saw it in the theater. I actually went to see that in the theater, and just the way it looked, it was a very creepy mask. I always thought that. So when I saw that thing on Amazon, I had to get it. And for what they cost, you go to the I believe they're probably around in your town too. The Spirit of Halloween. If you go on there and check it out, they're pretty good stuff. I mean, they have some pretty neat stuff. I will admit. It's nice that they have some stuff, but their masks. They have a couple of Michael Myers masks. Oh, some were pretty bad, and this is the one mask that, if you shopped around and looked for them a little bit, they're really terrible. Some of them are looking really bad, and I can't believe they actually sell that kind of stuff. They're so terrible looking. But they have some good ones, and this one here is one of the good ones. It's made by Trick or Treat, I believe. That's the name of the company. No kidding. And now for the prices that sometimes you get offered, you see them as high as, like, $100, $70, $60, $50. Okay, I didn't pay anywhere near that for these. For this one that I have, I bought it on Amazon. I think it was like, I bought it. I'm only sharing it now with you guys because it's October. I felt like it was more appropriate to show it off in October. Now, I did buy it some time ago, and so I bought it before Halloween was really getting kicking. So I think it was like $30, $35 or something like that. So, yeah, that's when I bought it. I bought it the same time I bought this other thing, and I'll show it to you. Let me go grab it real quick. Okay, so here it is. Beep, beep. Okay. Now, this, I bought it at the same time. This is a special edition of the movie What? Can you see it? Oh, where's the camera lens? There it is. Yes. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one, came out in the 70s. Really awesome movie. This is another movie I saw that really stood out to me. It's 1974. Look at that. This movie's 83 minutes of awesome. Now, as I gotten older and more into filming, you watch this movie. It's amazing. It's amazing the way they filmed it, the money they had. You could totally tell this movie was next to no budget, but it remains such a staple on horror movies today. And of course, this whole things got panned out to the point where, or played out. This cash cow got milked so many times. I don't think they've made so many of them, and there's so many of them that are really terrible. And okay, so the first one here is I think the original one is by far the most scariest because it seems the most real to me. It's okay. Part two, I would say this. I like part two, but part two to me was more of a comedy. It was more like a good old time, get together and have a party and watch this thing. It's kind of like Dawn of the Dead with directed by the late great George Romero. He has passed away, and that really is a bummer. But George Romero directed some of the greatest zombie movies ever, and Dawn of the Dead is certainly one of them. Dawn of the Dead is just straight up a party. That movie is funny. It's comical. And so it's just a good old time. And to me, that's kind of the way the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 is. Part 3, you could tell they were trying to get back on the bandwagon of being scary. But this one here, I think is without a doubt, this is the best one. Now, why is it in the shape of this truck? It's because in the end of the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, it goes running after Marilyn Burns, and she runs down the highway or the road or something, and she stops this truck. Okay, and this guy gets out and grabs a pipe wrench, and they're running. Why they didn't get back into? Why didn't they just start the truck and go? I don't know. I guess this is a horror movie, right? You go upstairs instead of out the back door, right? Nails old Leatherface there. Another late actor, Gunnar Hansen. You know what the shame thing is? We lost so many people. Gunnar Hansen, we lost. Most everybody in this movie or had to do with this movie has unfortunately passed away. Tobe Hooper passed away, the director. Leatherface had passed away. That's Gunnar Hansen. Marilyn Burns, I talked about, he has passed away. And the guy that played Franklin in the movie has passed away. And I think there's even more people. It's sad to see people like that go. But anyway, runs out, grabs his pipe wrench, nails old Leatherface in the head with it, and they take off, okay? And the cool thing is, yes, it extends out like that, so you get the full truck. Look at that. Kind of neat. Okay, on the top, it opens up. There's your box of stuff. You get this bloody apron. That's kind of neat. You get this bloody apron thing. It's kind of just spattered with the blood. I won't open it. It's actually kind of a bugger to get back in there. And the DVD set, or the Blu-ray, okay? The cover's different. So what is the kind of differences here? They do have some pretty neat bonus features. They, I think the bonus discs are worth it. I think the set is worth it if you really like the movie. They do include, and I kind of don't like when they do this because it kind of makes it, and I kind of know why they do it too, and I hate to say it, but they always include the Blu-ray and the DVD, and I'm starting to notice a lot of these discs, that's the way they do it. They include Blu-ray and DVD. So basically you have a copy of the DVD set of the same thing on Blu-ray. Now I guess if your Blu-ray player is not working or you don't have a Blu-ray player, I guess you can still watch it, but I think for the most part we're buying it because it's on Blu-ray. Now it's going to be 4K, great. But I don't like it when they advertise these things as like, you know, like, oh, it's a 5-disc set and blah blah blah. But then you really get it and it's actually only like I think it's like a 3-disc set or something. You really, because two of those discs are just the same discs, only on DVD. But it's neat. I don't regret buying it at all because it's kind of cool to have all the special features and all the extra stuff about making it. And I'm fascinated with the film and all that and how they did it. And you know, again, using low lighting and all that kind of stuff. Some of you maybe remember. In fact, what am I talking about? I'm pretty sure most of you remember the old shockumentary thing that came out called Faces of Death. Oh, the Faces of Death. Oh, you know, it was a big ruckus. Banned in 46 countries, something like that. That was actually all fake. They had special effects people. It was marketed as real stuff. It was like, oh, this is horrible stuff, and which, you know, I mean, that kind of stuff is. But the cool thing that attracted me to it was the fact it was makeup effects. It was the people made up all that stuff. They were laughing about it. So I bought this special edition DVD of it, and where the guy kind of talks about it, he says, you know, they talk about each effect that they went through and they did. It's a horrible movie. I wouldn't even call it a movie. It's not even worth. I don't even think I have the DVD anymore, but it was kind of neat to see that how they did it, they were talking about. And what makes it more realistic was how they filmed it. Documentary style, hardly any lighting, and it just was haggard. So anyway, that's kind of stuff like this. And I like these old type of movies like that. Wes Craven, The Hills Have Eyes, etc., all that stuff. The good old days of really awesome stuff. I don't know about the stuff they're doing now. Every time I go to this theater and I saw something new, I went to go see this movie called Mother in the theater. Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem, two good actors. I thought, well, you know, let's check it out. You know, I guess I don't know. I'm not really a fan of Jennifer Lawrence. She hasn't really. I never watched Hunger Games or anything like that. I'm just not into that kind of stuff. But Javier Bardem is in one of my favorite movies that I like that's actually a newer movie, which is odd. I usually don't like newer movies that much, is No Country for Old Men. He played Chigurh. So when I went to go see it, I was expecting it was absolutely terrible. Do not waste your money. Hopefully I'm not too late on this video. And you haven't already gone and saw it. If you did, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, all right, we're 14 minutes into this video, and I know what you've come here for. What is in the Ruger box? Is it a Ruger? What is it? And some of your comments, I guess that made me laugh. Okay, now, I know I'm killing you with anticipation, ain't I? What is it? You're going, where's my, again, I don't have my phone near me. I was going to read some of the comments. But I know some of you, I've asked the question before, is Batjack, I guess I've been asked straight up, like, what do I think of Rugers? Okay, I'm a really picky person when it comes to firearms. A lot of times, aesthetics is a big one for me. The way something looks. I'm a big aesthetics guy. It's got to look cosmetically attractive. And I have been spoiled by Colt and Smith & Wesson. More so Smith & Wesson. I have been spoiled by the look of their guns. Their revolvers, and I'm talking about the revolvers. Their revolvers absolutely are gorgeous. They have the lines on the gun, the outline of it. It's like it's got curves like a nice woman. Okay, they are awesome. Now, I've been spoiled by that, and so to me, now I'm not talking about the quality or anything like that. I don't mean to sound bad on them, but to me, for me, the way that some of these Rugers look, the revolvers, are not appealing to me. They don't have that look like a Smith & Wesson does, or like a classic Colt does. I guess they're all classic. I don't think they even make a double action revolver. Oh no, wait, they make that Cobra. See, they're throwing bones. They're throwing me for a spin already. They're redoing some stuff. But that's it. I'm a really big on the aesthetics. If it doesn't look cool or nice and neat the way I'm used to seeing them, I tend to shy away from them. So that's it. So that's kind of answers the question. And I'm not a big fan of the two-tone. You always see the semi-autos. What they got, like a silver slide with the black frame or something like that. I've never been a fan of those. I don't. It just, to me, it looks unfinished. It looks like. And I know there's a lot of companies doing it. It's not just Ruger. Everybody does it. And it just, to me, it just looks sloppy and unfinished. That's just my opinion. Sorry. If you have one and that's your favorite look, then that's fine. That's great. And we all have our preferences, right? So, the Ruger box, what is in it, okay? Killing you with anticipation. What is in this box? All right. It's a Colt revolver. Yes. And Bob, that's why your comment was classic. I swear, I feel like you guys know me too well. You've been such a supporter of Bad Jack JW in the channel. I think you guys know me way too well. And that's a cool thing to kind of have an audience and you guys as subscribers that are like that. That's awesome. Now, this is not just any Colt revolver. This is a Colt official police. That's its model. But guess what? Guess what caliber this thing is in? Most of the time you see these things, they're in 38. This one's in 22 long rifle. Yes, 22. This is a vintage 1959. It's got its original grips. The bluing is in excellent condition considering its age. It's got a little freckling on the hammer, but that's the one thing about Colts. They always left the sides of their hammers bare. I don't know. I'll have to fix that and hit it with some steel wool or something. Get rid of it. But the other cool thing is it's a 6-shot. It's not a 9-shot or anything like that. Now I'm a traditionalist. I kind of like the 6. If somebody said, "Hey, would you rather have this revolver in 6 or 9?" I'd be like, "No, give me the 6 because it's just traditional." And a lot of people say, "But look at all that extra space they got all in that." I like the 6-shot. There's something cool about that. I'm not trying to do a Arnold Schwarzenegger movie or something like that where the guy has a revolver and he goes bang, 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 and then he runs across the thing and bang, bang, bang some more. And it's like, wow, it's the endless belt-fed revolver or something. So, no, it's neat. You got the free-floating ejector rod and everything like that. So, ran across this baby and... of course, like I said, with the new job and everything like that, I figured I owed myself a little something, a little treat or something, so I did it. It was very cheap. Let's put it that way. It was to the point where I think what did they want for the thing? They wanted $500 for it. Okay, I talked these guys down to $380 out the door price. So you can see why I couldn't turn that down. And that goes again. Now that goes back to where they say that that's why I mean, like buying, waiting for the right price. And I've always wanted one of these things. I've always wanted one. And here's the interesting thing, a story about it is this kind of goes all the way back to where Batjack was getting into shooting. And I shot one of these things at an indoor gun range. It was the first kind of gun I shot. And it was a Colt double action 22 revolver 6-shot. And that's another reason I wanted to get it. So I'm going to get out of here, you guys. You know what? You know what's so stupid? I'm sitting there looking for my phone and I'm filming this with my phone. You see? I got to get out of here.